You can't think greater than how you feel, or feelings have become the means of thinking, then we are thinking in the past. And if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your life, then your future will look a lot like your past. Are you with me still? But you can say to that person, why are you so angry? Why are you suffering? Why are you so guilty? And they'll say, oh, I'm so glad you asked. Because here we go. You see, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I had this thing happen to me. And what they're really saying is that event, that circumstance in their life produced such a change emotionally in them, the betrayal, the shock, the loss, the diagnosis, whatever it is. Their change in their internal state caused the brain to freeze a frame and capture a moment. And that's called a long-term memory. And every time they thought about that event, every time they remembered it, they were producing the same chemistry in their brain and body over and over again. And the body's reliving it constantly. And so you say to the person, why are you this way? Oh, I am this way because of this thing that happened to me 20 years ago. But what they're really saying is, I have not been able to change since that event. That event altered me in some way. And since that event, I'm not the same person. Come on, you with me? So then, the emotion then that the person has experienced from the past event is keeping their body in the past as long as they feel the same way. Yes or no? And there's always a story that goes along with it for that person, but 50% of that story is a lie. It isn't even the truth. That's the latest research. That people are reliving miserable lives they never even had, just so they don't have to change. But if you think about it neurologically, nerve cells that fire together, every time you remember the past and every time you feel the emotion, you're conditioning the body. And that is the known. And the body now becomes the mind of that emotion. And now the servant is the master. So then, if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your life, and the majority of people's thoughts based on a memory are the same thoughts as the day before, same thoughts are going to lead to the same choices. Same choices are going to lead to the same behaviors. Same behaviors are going to create the same experiences. Same experiences produce the same emotions. Same emotions influence the very same thoughts. Your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your hormones, and even your gene expression stays the same because you're staying the same. Come on, you with me? And this is exactly how we started our work with the University of California, San Diego. The scientists thought we were crazy. They didn't even think that it was possible. And I remember sitting down with them at a little round table in Palm Springs. I wrote same thoughts, same choices, same actions, same behaviors, same experiences, same emotions, same biology. That makes sense. New thoughts, learn new information. Why that information in the brain? If you learn new things, you're going to think differently. Yes or no? Yes. Now, it's not enough to just sit there and remember it. The next thing you do, you've got to make a different choice. That means you've got to do something different. Create new experiences, feel new emotions. Will their biology change? A little bit, maybe. They had no idea how much changes took place. Think about this. Everybody in this room has their own genotype. And genes make, say it again? Proteins, very good. Almost caught me off guard. So then, every one of you, based on your culture, your family, your race, everybody has their own individual genotype. Now check this out. At the end of 7 days, 80% of the population are expressing the same genes and making the same proteins. What does that mean? It means the flock, the herd, the tribe. There's an emergent consciousness that's being reflected in everybody's biology, and they're evolving together. Come on, are you with me? and that people change people. So then, if you keep thinking the same way, you keep making the same choices, you keep doing the same things, you keep creating the same experiences, stamp the same networks of neurons in the same way, all for the familiar feeling called you, and I don't know, let's just make this up. Let's just say you've been doing that for 20 years, or maybe 10 years, or maybe 5 years. Would you agree then, nerve cells that fire together, wire together, and a belief? By definition, if you watched your progressive workshop, it's just a thought you keep thinking over and over again, yes or no? And if you keep thinking over and over again, it's easier to think that thought, and you actually believe the thought because you think that way. And that belief turns into a perception, and we don't see things how they are, we see things how we are. That we fill in reality based on memory. Come on, you with me? And if you keep doing the same things over and over again, you create a habit. What's a habit? Do it enough times, the body knows how to do it better than the conscious mind. The body's behaving as if it's in the past. And just keep feeling those same emotions, keep making those same chemicals, keep feeling those same emotions, keep making those same chemicals. You could really get good at feeling guilty. You can get really good at feeling fear, yes or no? You get really good at judging other people. You get so good at doing it, you don't even know aware that you're doing it. And that makes up 95% of who we are. By the time we're in the middle of our life, 95% of who we are by the middle of our life is a set of memorized, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions, automatic habits and behaviors, reflexive emotional reactions and responses. 95% is automatic, it's subconscious. And how you think, and how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. That is it. So the present personality who's sitting here today, you, has created the present personal reality called your life. Yes or no? Now check this out. It's not your mama didn't do this, or your dad, or your ex, or your coworker. None of that. You said that your personality creates your personal reality, yes? And what's your personal reality? It's your life. So then it would make sense then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, you'd have to change your personality. Come on. If you wanted a new life, you would have to change. Because nothing changes in our life until we change. And the moment you become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time, you're getting beyond your body, your environment, and time, and that is the eye of the needle. That is the door to the quantum field. That's leaving the familiar and the known, and we call that getting beyond yourself. And the moment you become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time, there's a massive amount of reorganization that takes place in the brain. Why? Because if you're not thinking about that person over and over again, you're no longer activating those circuits in your brain. Come on, you with me? If you're not thinking about your cell phone, your addiction, if you're no longer thinking about it, would you agree then you're no longer activating all those circuits you use for it, yes or no? And if you're no longer activating those circuits, they're going to say, oh my God, how are you? I haven't met you because I've been too busy being run by the controller who's completely out of order. And all of a sudden, different compartments of the brain, different modules of the brain that were once divided start communing. Larger communities begin to form to larger communities, and there's kind of a synchronization that takes place in the brain. And what syncs in the brain, links in the brain. And the brain all of a sudden starts functioning in a more holistic state. And the exchange of information, because of the coherence in the brain, is causing a more unified level of consciousness. And we can walk around when a person's getting a brain scan, and we can look at them, and tears of joy are just running down their face. They feel so whole that it's impossible to want in that moment. How can you want when you're whole? And they're getting closer to source. They're getting closer to pure love. They're getting closer to the divine. The act of closing your eyes
and rehearsing what you're going to do begins to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like you already did it. Now the brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's a map to the future. And if you keep installing that hardware, the hardware will become a software program, which means you'll just start acting like a happy person. Why? There's no magic there. You installed the circuitry. So that's more important than the news.
Right.
It's more important than answering any email or any text. It's more important than talking about your past or some dinner. If you can begin to just think about how you're going to do it differently, that's the building process neurologically already. So now you have to get conscious in order to do that. And it takes some time. It means you got to shut your cell phone off. You got to close your door. You got to take a break from everything out there and begin to practice.
Nobody is excluded. So then, by you sitting in the fire, that's you disentangling from the program. And I told you it takes an enormous amount of energy, an enormous amount of awareness to constantly catch ourselves from going unconscious. And yet that is the act of becoming more conscious. You having the ability then to sit into the present moment and no longer need any stimulation from your external environment is a sovereign being. To disinvest your attention and energy away from the material world and put it on the immaterial, forget about your environment, you'd have to overcome a lot of addiction to the hormones of stress that keep us preoccupied with the outer world. You keep that up, and when you least expect it, that's what our data shows. Our data shows that when you don't expect anything, the unexpected happens. It would have to be that way. Our data says on our fMRI studies, you keep opening your awareness to space, there's less modulation or compartmentalization in the brain. The brain is less siloed, it's more integrated, it's more whole. I'm not saying that, that's what the data says. The act of you opening your awareness to space and to nothing, and then adding the factor that it's frequency and energy, and add your understanding of that to enhance your experience, or it's pure consciousness, or there's infinite possibilities, somehow that information is integrated into your biology. That's what our data shows. The cells become more efficient. There's constant, simultaneous deconstruction of the cell and then reconstruction of the cell. It's happening right now. Out with the old, in with the new. There's a change taking place on a cellular level, and the cells are more efficient. How much more efficient? The difference between burning a log and rocket fuel. Cells are just working at a very, very more efficient level. 63 different diseases that we studied all have pain. One intervention, a week-long meditation, and 100% of those people were making their own endogenous opioids. 100% of the people were reducing pain in their body, independent of their disease, by doing nothing, by opening their awareness to that force of life. And there's more life in their body. So much more that they grow new areas in the brain flourishes. New neurons are created. There's information in the blood.
Get a person to feel grateful for no reason. Have a person feel a love for life without any reason. Have them feel a sense of unlimitedness, that they can cultivate that on their own.
Yeah.
They won't need love from anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things I discovered, like watching this kind of transformation taking place in a community. And we do a lot of walking meditations. You know, when I see people out on the beach and the sun is rising and the sun is on their face and there's tears of joy rolling down their face and they're in their hearts and they're lifted, and I'm realizing that nobody's making that person feel that way but them. There's they're feeling safe enough to let that authentic beauty kind of come out, and they see beauty in all things, right?
Yeah.
And so the side effect of showing up for yourself enough times is you start feeling really worthy to receive.
I wrote that down. I am worthy. That seems to be a key thing.
That is the key, because when you show up, even when you don't want to, that's your greatest moment.
Yeah.
That's your greatest moment right there, when you say, I don't have the time, and you sit down anyway.
Right.
Or I don't feel like it, or I'll do it tomorrow. That's all a program.
Yeah.
The person who's got their life on the line, or the person who wants their abundance more than that excuse, they'll make the time. Even if they feel sick, even if they feel terrible, even if they're in pain, even if the doctor told them they're going to die, even if they're in fear, even if they have self-doubt, they overcome their doubt, they overcome their fear, they overcome their body, they overcome their pain by sitting down and making the effort.
And you were to place it on the top of your head and work your fingernail in there, and then take your finger away. If you can keep your attention there, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So that's your target. So the idea then is to close your eyes and to inhale, and at the exact same time that you inhale, to lift those muscles up and in, and with the intention of pulling the mind out of the body and liberating energy, and pulling that energy all the way up into your brain. As you inhale, one slow, steady breath, follow it from your perineum, through your lower abdomen, through your upper abdomen, through your chest, through your throat, through the brain, all the way to the top of your head. And when you get to the top of your head, hold your breath and now squeeze those muscles a little bit more and just pump that fluid up against the back of your brain and hold it. And then you exhale, relax, and feel. Now, in the beginning, when you learn anything, you have to practice it and it's mechanical. But as you keep practicing, it'll become more intuitive and less step by step. It'll become one motion. So the act is inhale at the same time, perineum, lower abdomen, upper abdomen. And as you inhale, you follow that breath all the way up through your chest, through your throat. Keep inhaling through your brain to the top of your head. When you get to the top of your head, you'll drop your shoulders down, straighten your spine, squeeze those muscles a little bit more. Put your attention on the top of your head and just push that fluid a little bit, compressing the crystals of the pineal gland. Hold for a few seconds and then relax and feel it in your brain. Now, I would recommend when you do this to play some music that has no lyrics, but has some drums or has some music that you can interpret as the movement of energy. If the energy strikes your brain, don't be afraid of it. It's just the liberation of energy. Let it happen. Take a moment, keep your eyes closed, and do it again. I would recommend 5 minutes in the beginning and work your way up to 10. Usually people who do it properly have a very significant amount of energy in their brain. We now know that this breath creates more brain coherence. It increases the amount of energy in the brain. It activates the autonomic nervous system. And our brain scans show that it stimulates the pineal gland. If you took your finger and you were to place it on the top of your head and work your fingernail in there, and then take your finger away, if you can keep your attention there, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So that's your target. As you disinvest your attention off that person or object or problem or thing in your life, and you begin to lower the volume to your emotions, you're beginning to weaken those bonds energetically, which means if you do this properly, that energy begins to come back to you. And when the energy begins to come back to you, it's chaotic energy, but you're beginning to build your own electromagnetic field. And that new electromagnetic field is a new energy. And that new energy now you can use to design a new destiny, to heal your body, to create a new job, a new relationship, because you have that energy now available to you.
Art of being unoffended. If you can walk through life completely unoffended and unbothered by what people say to you and what people do to you, the world loses all of its power and you gain every ounce of power, actually. And then you're completely free of that thing inside you that makes you fight with yourself. And then you can actively just leave people in their hell and you're just like, right on, bro. And you just go on with your life. Leave them there.
60 seconds of neural conditioning to regulate your nervous system. You have time. You have time. You have time. You can slow down. You've already done enough. You can slow down. You've already done enough. You can slow down. You've already done enough. The purpose of your life is to enjoy it. The purpose of your life is to enjoy it. The purpose of your life is to enjoy it. Slowing down allows you to receive even more. Slowing down allows you to receive even more. Slowing down allows you to receive even more. It is completely fine to take your time. It is completely fine to take your time. It is completely fine to take your time. You're still going to be loved even if you don't accomplish your goal right now. You're still going to be loved even if you don't accomplish your goal right this instant. You're still going to be loved no matter what the outcome is. It will be okay.
You should not be concerned what somebody else is thinking about you. Let them think whatever the hell they want, it's their problem. It's a choice between whether you want to look good or be good, whether you want to look wonderful or feel wonderful. This is a choice you have to make in your life. This doesn't mean when you're feeling wonderful, you can't also look wonderful. But right now, only if you look wonderful, you feel little wonderful. That also, if everybody says, oh, you're wonderful, change this before you go to bed, that tomorrow when you wake up, the only thing that's important for you is how you are within yourself.